What's good, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets. I'm here with my partner Reoz, bringing you guys some NFL playoff action. Today is the start of the NFL playoffs. We have two games on Saturday. We're going to be doing a separate video for Sunday. There's three games on Sunday, followed by a really nice Monday night game as well. So thank you for being here. We're going to be covering just the two games today, and we're going to be doing two pick power over here on Prize Picks. So of course we're on Prize Picks. It's what we always play. A couple people in the comment section ask us for underdog picks every once in a while. We typically just stick to Prize Picks. Sometimes we'll do some FanDuel stuff. A couple, if we're betting on a game, certainly we probably will be doing some betting on games. Over for the NFL playoffs. You can find that stuff over on our Patreon. We'll get to that in a minute. But the Prize Picks promo code is going to be Upstate. And if you use the code, it helps us out a ton. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. And over here on Prize Picks, they're going to match your first deposit all the way up to $100. You can do 20 for 20, 50 for 50, all the way up to $100 for dollar. So two games today. Seattle is going into San Francisco. They are 9.5-point dogs with a 42.5 over under. And then the Chargers and Jags is a really fun one to watch. There's not a lot. It feels like the Jags are like ahead of schedule. They're like a year ahead of schedule. They make the playoffs this year. Really exciting. Chargers are favored in that game, going into Jacksonville by 2.5. So really excited for these games. And Rios, tell me about the Patreon content.
If you want more plays from us, the Patreon is the best place to find that. And especially on tonight, Thursday or Friday that we're recording, we didn't put out an NFL or an NBA video. And we had a really good night over on the Patreon. Right now, we're 3-0, waiting for one more pick to finish up. It's 50-50 if we're going to hit it or not, but still, 3-1, 4-0, amazing night. So if you don't want to miss out on any picks that we are providing, the Patreon is the best place to find that. $15 a month, about 15 cents a day. You cannot beat that value for 4 to 8, sometimes even 10, especially on a day like today on Saturday with a good two games of NFL, a full slate of NBA. We're going to be giving out a ton of picks. You don't want to miss out. This weekend is going to be filled with picks all day long, especially on Sunday. So you don't want to miss out. It's an incredible value. Two for the price of one. It's going to be linked in the description below, and you can also find it at patreon.com/upstate.
And we think it's some of the best value you can find across the landscape of Prize Picks and player props. We sprinkle in some other things here and there, but mostly, I can't even speak. Mostly, we are NBA and NFL. Sometimes, as the weeks go on, we'll get into some PGA stuff, some MMA stuff, and every now and then Reoz covers some baseball season when it comes around. So we think it's really good value for 50 cents a day. So let's dive into the player props, though. I got a guy in receiving yards. I want to go to Keenan Allen here, over 80.5, and I know it seems high. It's already jumped up around 4 to 5 so far. I think it started out at 74.5. Now it's up to 80. So I think it's still good value here. No Mike Williams, which is absolutely huge. Jacksonville Jaguars, they've been giving up a ton of big games to opposing wide receivers, number one wide receivers for a fact. And, he's been just a consistent target for Justin Herbert over the past couple of years. He's seen 9 or more targets in 5 out of his last 6 games. He's hit this line 60% on the entire season so far. The Jags rank 28th in defenses and DOVA against wide receiver ones. So I think this is a really good matchup for him. There's obviously some other guys too that are on the field that are going to be threats. You have to look out for Josh Palmer. Everett could get involved a little bit more. Obviously Austin Eckler. So it's not like everything goes to Keenan Allen here. He's still going to get one-on-ones. I don't know if he will get double, but I think he's still elusive enough and quick enough to get over some of these guys and get open. He's got Trey Herndon on him, who's been an up and down corner so far this season. He's had really good games and really bad games. But if he struggles, they might throw Darius Williams on him in the slot. And I think Allen's just too big to go. He can go right over the top of him. His big frame. And he's a guy that's taller for a wide receiver as well. So I think this game has potential to be a shootout. Jacksonville, like I said, is probably a year ahead of schedule. There's a lot more on the line for the Chargers, it seems like, especially for Brandon Staley's job. So give me Keenan Allen here, over 80.5.
Love Keenan Allen. This is a perfect matchup for him. I'm also projecting Justin Herbert to have a phenomenal game. We've seen all season that they don't really rely on the run. How much they get Eckler involved in the passing game, it seems to just be the Justin Herbert show. And with Mike Williams out, Keenan Allen is definitely due for more volume, more targets. I love that pick. I'm going to jump over to Fantasy Score with Brock Purdy here. And this line might scare people. I know me and Dale were talking about the weather kind of being an issue, but the reason I'm leaning towards his fantasy score over the 15.5 is he's not a deep threat quarterback. He doesn't air the ball out. He is super efficient. I mean, we've seen in his 6 starts or 7 starts, uh, 6 starts, he's had two or more touchdowns in all 6 of those games. His completion percentage has been amazing. He doesn't throw for big games. He throws just over 200 yards, and that's really what he needs. And he is also somewhat useful on the ground. He's not obviously going to rip off, 40, 50-yard games, but he's able to do some QB sneaks. He's also getting Debo Samuel back. This offense looks incredible. The Seahawks defense is kind of in shambles. They looked really good in the beginning of the year, but we've started to see them not play so well. So I know that these two teams just played not too long ago, and he had a really good game. He was 17 to 26, had 217 yards passing with 2 touchdowns. So he's super efficient. Just being a game manager, doing what he needs to get the job done. I don't think this game is going to be a blowout. I know the spread kind of dictates it to be a blowout game, but I just don't believe it. I think a playoff game with two teams that know each other very well. This is going to be a close game, and they're going to need Purdy's arm, and just him not turning the ball over is super key. So I love this fantasy score for him.
Yeah, anytime you get a divisional playoff game, it usually plays out a lot closer than, people assume. Obviously, San Francisco is, one of the favorites to come out of the NFC. Purdy, I think people would pick them to come right out of the NFC if it wasn't for Purdy. I think people still have questions about him, but the numbers just don't lie. I mean, he's been super consistent in his past couple starts. Obviously throwing, like Reoz said, not massive numbers through the air, but he finds ways to score touchdowns with all those weapons. It's kind of hard not to get touchdowns with Ayuk and Kittle and Debo and Christian McCaffrey can be a threat, obviously, from the backfield, from passing and receiving. So Brock Purdy at 15.5. Seems like some good value here. So we're going to take the over on both these guys. Punch this in for a 2-pick power and be sure to catch us for the next video if you're looking for some more player props for the Sunday slate. Drop a comment down below. Make sure to go check out the Patreon as well. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.